Well, we have a lot of guests here today. Thank you for your time. Someone really cared about you and sent an invitation for you to learn something tonight. I know it's Thanksgiving week, but this conversation that I would love to have with you is so meaningful. We're going to be around family, we're going to be around a lot of people, and there's just going to be a lot of feelings and a lot of conversation, and hopefully those conversations are meaningful. Well, I know most conversations are meaningful, and I would love to water that for us. So we have people from Australia here, Sydney, Hawaii, Denver, California, Texas, all the way to East Coast. This is amazing. I am so honored and privileged to be here with you today. So today's agenda, I'm going to be talking about what are we doing at Ensuring Impact that's going beyond and that's shaking up the industry that most people need to learn about. What I'm about to share with you, 98% of the nation has no idea about. And if they think they know, they don't really know. And I would probably want to share that with you. And then we also have a special guest to share a testimonial, closing it up. And then we're going to get started. All right, I'm going to share my slides. And please let me know if you can see my slides. Yay or nay? Are we good? We are good. So ensuring impact beyond insurance is going to be our conversation today. We also have conversations around beyond real estate, beyond taxes, but today we're going to talk about something so fundamental that most people overlook. It's the 5% of your financial planning that makes 95% of the difference. So our mission is to empower people like you. This is not going to be a sales pitch. You don't have to worry about that. This is about empowering the uninformed, how I was over a decade ago, where I'm like, man, I'm smart, but I'm broke. I'm following everything. My dad has an MBA. He's an engineer. We're here. We're making six figures since the 80s. Why are we still struggling? Can anybody relate? We got the education. We work really hard, but why are we still struggling? And if you're on the struggle bus, type a one in the chat for me. This is going to be very engaging because we can struggle together. But if you're done struggling and you're done feeling like, man, I am done surviving, how do we start thriving? What is the game? What is the rules? Who can I talk to? Give me the toolbox. And that's the conversation I'm going to have with you today. And we want to educate and impact 1 million families by 2028. How? By educating families on how to buy versus teaching agents how to sell. I hate being sold to. How many of you guys can relate? Everyone's trying to pitch me a product, pitch me something to do. I'm not against that business model. However, are they even hearing me? Help me make an educated decision. Help me make an informed decision, especially when it deals with my family and deals with my money. Yes? So today I'm going to educate you about 3 major phases in your money life cycles that we can help you plan and prepare for. At the very least, raise awareness, because as long as you're aware of what's going on, you can make an informed decision. My duty is to educate, your duty to take care of your family. Fair? So the first phase, what you see here is called the X curve in financial planning. It says basically as we get older, we should have less responsibility and more wealth, AKA a lot more money. So in the first phase, we're young, right? We just have young children. We maybe just graduated college. We have debt. We probably have a mortgage. We don't have a lot of money yet. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 40s. I'm barely getting a career. I started out in debt. I don't have a lot of money yet. But here's where you need a lot of coverage. I'm going to say the ugly word that maybe turn you off, but I think is the most exciting word where I'm going to hopefully I can make you excited about it. The word is life insurance, the most misunderstood and also misrepresented product, I think, in the industry. Life insurance is not about burial insurance and bury me with dignity. Life insurance at its very core, it's about income protection. So take a moment with me right now. And again, it might be a heavy conversation, but it's my duty to raise awareness and have this meaningful conversation with you because it matters. I care about you and your family, especially your kids and your future grandkids, because I wish I had this conversation or I wish my parents knew about this. Life insurance at its very core is about income protection. So imagine you're making $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, or you're a stay-at-home parent and you think you're not worth a lot of money because you're not making income. Did you know a stay-at-home parent, if you were to replace everything a stay-at-home parent does, how much money is that a year? I think they're priceless, but let's just put a dollar amount. Stay-at-home parents, the last time I did research, it's over 6 figures to replace a stay-at-home parent. So don't overlook that. So if you're making $50,000 a year, 150, 200, whatever $1,000 a year you make, if that income stops or the person you're depending on that income stops, how will your family survive and thrive? That is the basic fundamental when you're at this stage and phase of your life, right? Loss of income is going to be very devastating. So we have to think if I lose income or someone I depend on loses their income, either my parents, my partner, my spouse, what's going to happen? Solve for that first, because that's the number one foundational thing we need to solve for. Then in later years, we better have a lot of money, right? Hopefully, our children are grown, our mortgage is paid off. But here's the biggest gotcha if you don't know the rules of the game. We just lost our two biggest tax deduction. What is our two biggest tax deductions? It's our children and our mortgage. I'm making more money, but I'm taking less home. Did you know there's about 12,000 baby boomers retiring every day? I see some young folks here. If I'm not talking to you, let's think about our parents. Can we stretch our vision a little bit that making money is not just about us? Let's think about our aging parents. Can we ask this question? When are they going to run out of money? Why will they run out of money? Even us. I have two young children, 10-year-old and 7. I got to think about, man, when I retire, I hope I'm not a burden to my child. I hope I don't run out of money. I better know the game, or at least know people who's in the game. Yes? So problem number 1, if I lose income. Problem number 2, if I live too long and I run out of money. These are all losses of money, which we're trying to insure. That's what life insurance does. And then problem number 3, regardless if you're young or old, put in the chat, type 1 for me if you know someone has been affected by a heart attack, stroke, cancer, disability. And I don't know why during the holiday seasons, it's when it rises. And I pray over everyone's family that your health is going to be all right during the season. Wow, 1121. Yes. And if you don't know anybody, allow me to share my story and why I'm so excited to share the solution that 98% of the nation has no idea about. Prior being in this business, this industry, this movement, I was a pre-med student. I was gung-ho about being a doctor, right? I was a pharmacy technician when I was 16, 5 years in pharmacy, then I was 5 years in diagnostic imaging. The reason why I was so empowered to do that was because at the age of 14, I had an ovarian cancer. Who knew? And actually, if you didn't know, it's predominantly in Vietnamese women specifically. Another conversation for another time. So I got my right ovary removed, and I almost lost my left ovary when I was 17. Hence my pursuit for purpose and how do I go out there and save the world? I thought the only way I can save the world is become a doctor. Or actually, that's only 2 choices I had, was be an engineer or be a doctor, according to my family tradition. But I went the other way because I had to learn how, I'm like, man, I'm smart, but I'm broke. I'm not solving this problem. I want to solve a bigger problem. And I found out about something you might have heard of. And it's called life insurance you don't have to die to use. I hope this is a new song you're hearing. Life insurance you don't have to die to use. The wealthy has been using the strategies for hundreds of years. Some of you guys are like, man, that's a scam, depending on who you're talking to. If back in the day when I was with the working class and those who are just in the grind, in the rat race, when I talk life insurance, it's a big cross, get away from me. It's a scam, yuck. Now that I've elevated my identity, I'm in different rooms.
Mhm.
Oh, can someone help me mute, please?
Yeah, man.
I'm in different rooms with more commas, life insurance. It's such a normal conversation when you understand it's a strategy, not a product. So, what I want to introduce to you is a living benefit strategy where wealthy folks are using this in multiple different ways, not just in death. And that's what excited me. I love living. I am blessed with more life. We all woke up this morning. Yes, that's something to be thankful for. Now, how do we protect something worth living for? I want to introduce to you our living benefit strategy we call our OPM framework. There's 3 specific strategies that we can use life insurance for to help you battle those 3 major risks in your life. O stands for optimization. We can show you a way to grow your money risk-free, tax-free. Yes, absolutely legal when done properly. How to protect your money from critical, chronic, and terminal illness. I saw so many ones when I asked, do you know anyone has been affected by heart attack, stroke, or cancer? Huge. This was my first love, and it's still my love in life insurance because out of 800-ish life insurance companies, only about 3 companies out of 800 I would trust my own family with. And I will educate you more and show you those strategies as we go along in this presentation. And then M stands for managing your money. What if we can show you a way to eliminate your debt and build wealth at the same time without changing your lifestyle? Some of you are brand new here to this type of information. Some of you have been following health strategies, TikTok videos talking about infinite banking, be your own banker, tax-free retirement. These are the buzzwords in the industry, but it's sheltered in a life insurance product. So this is an infinite banking strategy. So I don't know where you're at in your OPM cycle, but ultimately to play the game of building wealth, I didn't say building riches, building wealth for generations and generations without risk or very little risk it's done this way. So I'm not sure where you're at, but here's the building blocks and where I want to empower you, where whatever phase or stage you're at, here's the foundation. We call the building blocks of wealth, built on principles, built on experience, built on wisdom, where I'm like, man, they don't teach you this in school because who's teaching us the money game in school? It's Wall Street and the banks. How's that going for us, right? I was like, wait, like, who am I listening to when it comes to money advice? The biggest thing I learned the hard way was when you take someone's opinion or advice, you take their lifestyle. So as I look around and I'm looking at those who are giving me advice on money, they look rich, but in the end, they're struggling. You guys ever notice that? Like, I shouldn't listen to broke uncle. Like, he has the belts, he has the cars, he's all this, but I see it looks like his family's struggling. Like that's where wisdom comes in, right? So as I explore and I elevate, when I find these gold nuggets, I'm here to share it with you. So here is where we prioritize. I want to talk foundationally. We have cash flow insurance. How's your emergency fund, debt management, equity management, right? And then we talk about protecting your income. And then let's talk about optimizing profits and minimizing your tax and risk. Most people have this upside down, don't they? Let me put away to a 401k and pray. Max out my 401k. Let me put it in crypto. Let me put out, like, buy a bunch of real estate, but you're overexposed. The industry is not teaching Main Street to do protection first planning. This is protection first planning. How many guys wish, I mean, I see people in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. We have 70-year-olds here. Each decade teaches us something new, yes? How many guys had to start over and be like, man, I wish I protected that money. Man, I wish I had this. Let me take it a step further. Can we all think like billionaires just for a little bit? Because when you start thinking like a billionaire, you would appreciate this framework. A billionaire is not interested in making an next billion. A billionaire is interested in protecting their billions and being consistent, right? Warren Buffett's first rule of investing is what? Never lose money. That is a protection formula. What is rule number 2? Don't forget rule number 1. So what's great about our framework here is, again, I don't know what phase or stage you're at, and there's no wrong or right. Allow us to meet you where you're at. Foundation, frameworks. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of commas or no commas. This will work because no matter where you're at, here's our highly customizable, revolutionary solution. The Swiss Army knife of financial planning. We can design this for a 14-day-old child up to an 85-year-old person. I can make this $10 a month or $10 million a month. It depends on your strategy. So how do I explain this 4-in-1 strategy? You'll still get life insurance. Just in this one part of the pie, part of this 4 square, it's absolutely valuable. You even know that how to play the game. You'll still get death benefit tax-free for your family from when we pass away. Pop quiz. What does life insurance protect? Ultimately, our income. Okay? Just in that alone, again, let's take a number. Let's say you make $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, 30. Whatever number you make a year. When we pass away, not if, okay? When, this is why we need, death is guaranteed. Taxes is guaranteed. I like playing that game. If death and tax is guaranteed, let me be in that game. Let me be in that space. So how many years do we need to replace your income when we pass away? Let's say 10 years. So you make $50,000 a year. Let's say that it's called the income method. Let's replace your income for 10 years. 50,000 times 10 equals 500,000. Are you following? That 500,000 tax-free goes to your family, to your heir, to your trust, to your business, whoever it goes to, that you have total control. Imagine how life-changing that could be, or how saving it could be, because now your family, your business partners, your heirs, they're not struggling for money just from death benefit. This also can be money for secure retirement, where there's cash value, there's equity, where you never lose money, and you can get upside potential or a guaranteed fixed return. It's a great alternative to bonds. It's a great alternative savings when done properly. So you get death benefit, you can have cash value, you can have total control about it. And what's amazing is if the market when the market tanks and or taxes go up, it doesn't affect this money. It's like a Roth on steroids when you truly understand this, okay? So you live too long, we want to make sure money's going to be there for you. And then God forbid, when life happens in between, the heart attack, stroke, cancer, and disabilities, there's money there for you. Up to $1.5 million tax-free after 30 days in this policy. And this is added for free with no additional premium. Can we all type free? Do you guys like free benefits? Especially when we're sick, when we need options? How important is that? This is what drove me from the medical field here. The biggest problem in healthcare is people cannot afford care. It is the number one reason for bankruptcies and the number one reason for home foreclosures. Isn't it? Or even the number one reason for, I see a lot of real estate agents here, for DTI, like too much debt. The debt usually comes from a medical emergency. So what if there was an option for you to use your death benefit while you're living? And it can be for term, it can be for whole life, it can be for universal life. It is not product specific. It is strategy specific. Are you guys following? How am I doing? Am I doing all right? Awesome. I really want to drill this because here's where I can really empower you, or at least know how to work with the right person. We can make $100 look 100 different ways. So please, 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 my public service announcement. Do not buy life insurance based on a quote. Buy AI. Go on there with a quoting engine. Why? Because agents can make up numbers and we can make $100 look 100 different ways. You have to have the strategy first. And that's why it's so important how we do ensuring impact beyond insurance is we go strategy first. From the strategy, we know how to design. Allow me to unpack that. Let's say I have a $100 premium. Of that $100, is this a infinite banking strategy? Is this a college saving strategy? It's a saving strategy, right? So of that 100, maybe 80 or 90 bucks is going to savings. And then $10 is going to a very small life insurance policy so that you can get the tax codes. Following? Or are you a struggling single mom and I have to stretch your $100? Maybe go term with full living benefits. I'd rather you have $1 million term policy with full living benefits for $100 versus a $100,000 cash value product. Does that make sense? Same $100, completely different strategies. This is why it's so dangerous when people are going out there just pushing products without strategies. And if you're following and you understand this concept and you find this concept meaningful to you, next steps is honestly, this is my last slide. The rest is going to be Q&A and frequently asked questions. Next steps and how we do things at Ensuring Impact is we give out a complimentary financial impact analysis. I believe in when we say we want to impact 1 million families by 2028, it's not selling 1 million policies. Okay, it's not making $1 million. It's giving out 1 million free financial impact analysis. Meeting people where they're at, raising financial literacy or financial awareness, coming to you in jumbo crayon. Is it okay to speak in jumbo crayon versus wave around my designations and our designations sound smart? I don't care about sounding smart, okay? I care about you feeling informed and educated and empowered. So through this exercise, we're gonna go through your cash flow. What's the income we need to protect? How many children do you have? Like what's coming in, what's going out? How's your retirement? And ultimately, my favorite part, where are we going? What's the North Star? And why is this so great? Because it doesn't matter if we're a great advisor or great doctor or whatever. If we don't know what your goals are and where you're at, why are we even giving advice? We have to be aligned. You have to be aligned with your goals. And what's great about this exercise is really going to empower you. How many of us can just get organized year in? Yeah, like, hey, I need to know where my money's going. Where am I exposed? Help me. That's what we're here for. From here. And honestly, you don't have to do business with us after. But ultimately, I feel once you go through this experience, you're going to really appreciate our process. Because as a life agent, we want to be there for you for life. That's what a true life insurance agent does. When you're young, first kid, married, first, right? Going through illnesses, going through death situations with you. That's the role and the responsibility that I'm so honored and privileged to have with our team is to serve you for life. It's a relationship, not a transaction for us. So through this, we will grow together. Okay. And after we have our numbers and know your goals, we have the software and everything to, oh, I lost my cursor. Okay. We have the software to plug in and have our fintech software do the math. If you're here, we have an action plan for you. If you're here, we have living benefits. If you have a retirement strategy and need tax strategies, we can go as advanced as you want. But before we get fancy, we have to stay fundamental. And the conversation today that matters to me, especially during this holiday season, especially that 98% of the nation has no idea, it is our duty at Ensuring Impact to go beyond insurance and really drive home this conversation. Is you're protected, not just in death, but in illness and in disability. You no longer have to buy life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, cancer insurance, like who can all those insurances a la carte? What if it can be an all-in-one solution? It's a great start, right? So here's an example of a 40-year-old female who is at standard non-tobacco, okay? Again, this is protection strategy. This is not fancy infinite banking. This is not tax-free retirement. This is protection first. Because all that fancy stuff doesn't matter if we're sick, right? I've talked to so many real estate investors. Oh, Denise, I don't really need the protection. I don't really care for that. Just give me, I have 20 homes, 20 doors. Okay, Mr. Real Estate Investor, how fast can you sell those homes when you need care? Question number one. Number two, wasn't those homes made for your retirement strategy, your cash flow versus for your care, long-term care, or for care homes, etc.? So let retirement be retirement. Let cash flow be cash flow. Let protection be protection. And that's where OPM really knows how to strategy stack. And I'm a huge fan of multiple policies. Okay. So let's do a protection focused strategy. At Ensuring Impact, we are a broker. We offer multiple carriers, but the carrier here that is the most value-based #1 company when it comes to living benefit strategy is called National Life Group, even though there's other companies. They've been around since 1848, A+ rated, mutually owned. Allow me to share you a term policy for this 40-year-old. Term, where you rent. There is no cash value, okay? Why did I say 30 years? Most people buy a term policy to cover their mortgage, yes? A 20-year or 30-year term. So imagine a $500,000 policy for $90, less than $90, for 30 years. If she passes away, $500,000, not if. When she passes away, and hopefully during this 30, not hopefully, this is so bad. But if you want this to work, it has to be done in 30 years. You understand that, right? Because you're only renting it for 30 years. If anything were to happen after 30 years, we missed the mark. That's why it's cheap, because you're renting for that period of time. There's no cash value, there's no equity. So past tomorrow time, $500,000. What's great about this, it's also a convertible term. And here's where I want to empower people who say, man, I don't have a lot of money yet. It's okay. Again, we're here to grow with you. Start with a term, and then you can convert this later. She has 20 years to convert this. What does this mean? It means that you have guaranteed insurability no matter what happens. What if a lot of people, right, buy term policy when they're 30, give me the cheapest one and never look at term again. And sometimes when they want to change their policy later, they're not healthy anymore. I've seen it so many times. That's what breaks my heart. That's when I feel like I didn't do our job here at Ensuring Impact. We didn't do our job. I wasn't faster than a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, because now they want a policy because now they appreciate it. They won't get coverage. But if they had a convertible term, they lock in that rating. So if she got standard rating within those 20 years, she's guaranteed standard rating no matter what, even if she had an illness. How powerful is that? Just to protect the future, just starting with something small as $89.76. But ultimately, what if she becomes sick, terminally ill? The doctor says she has 24 months or less to live. Chronically ill, which is similar to disability or long-term care definition. I can't do 2 out of 6 of your normal daily activities. I sound like a side effect commercial. But anyways, it's basically if you become disabled. Heart attack, stroke, or cancer, Alzheimer's, all of this included. If this were to happen to her, she can access her death benefit while she's living. Type living in chat if you know anybody who could have used this yesterday. And I'm so glad you're here, because it's our duty to raise awareness. Remember, our duty to educate, your duty to take care of your family, your community. Living, living, living. Now, I want to show you a side-by-side comparison of something where, what if she owned it? Same 40-year-old female, same protection focus strategy with the proper design, because you're working with professional and experts who actually know how this stuff works and knows how to do it from a financial planning perspective, from a holistic planning perspective. Look at this. What if she wanted to own it and not rent? Most agents stop here because it's the easiest to sell. They're worried about the transaction. They're going to move on to their next. They never even expose this. Just for a little bit more, because it includes cash value and savings, the cost is pretty much the same. But do you want to rent or do you want to own? So this is a cash value life insurance product designed for protection focused strategy. For about $105 more a day, she can own this product for the rest of her life and it's locked in. So if she's 65 years old, it's still $247. Does that make sense? Look, when she's 69 years old, she has $132,000 and change projected in her cash value slash equity. So if you knew this, can I help you make, oh my God, I'm going to say 6-7. This is so bad. This is when you know, yeah, it's ingrained in me. So bad. Anyway, but you can see in the comparison, where it's like, man, if I wanted to rent, if I can just do about $5 more a day, I can own this and I can have a saving strategy at the same time. And I don't have to worry about it after 30 years or after 20 years. I don't care which one works best for you. Again, my duty to educate. Here's one you rent. Here's one you own. I just care that you have living benefits. Is that okay? Awesome. And it's okay to have two. What if you wanted $1 million strategy and I just want to go instead of $1 million at $500? What if I did $500,000 at 250-ish, right? And then $500,000 I rent. Stack it. This is wisdom. Feel free to scan this QR code here, or if someone can help post the link. Thank you. You can see the full illustration. This is just for conversation, but the full illustration that's compliant, you can see in the resources. Again, I want to empower you. Read the fine print, educate yourself, and if you need help, we're here to help you. Okay. So FAQ, some of you guys probably have questions. I get questions all the time. I've been doing this for over a decade. No way, right? How is this even possible? What do you mean? How come you don't know about it? We can go through all of it. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat and I would love to address it because we have time, and then we'll get to our testimonial. A very common question I have is, what if I have a precondition? Great question. So if you're thinking diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure, and some kidney stones, congratulations, you're a standard American. That is not a precondition in life insurance, okay? The conditions are mostly red flags that would cause an underwriting problems are mostly the ones that are life-threatening, the strokes, the cancers, the heart attacks, etc. Does that make sense? So if that were to happen, don't apply for life insurance yet because you might get denied if you're not working with the right agent. The agent should, or again, you can go through us, go through something called pre-underwriting. We can actually contact the underwriter with your precondition to see, hey, will you get accepted? Please do that. Another public service announcement. Don't apply just to apply and you think you're going to get denied, because once you get a denial on your record, it is on your record. It's like a DUI and felony in your health record. So work with a professional who knows how to navigate these conversations to get you the best chances of getting covered. So if you have those preconditions, there are statutes of limitation. Like we just someone who had breast cancer. She's been breast cancer free for 5 years. She got covered, no problem, and got living benefits. Another situation, someone had a thyroid cancer and has been about 9 years. She got approved, no problem. However, remember those riders that are free, the terminal, chronic, critical injury? She didn't receive the critical injury rider because it includes that precondition. So the living benefits are free, aka no additional cost. However, you do have to qualify for it. Hey, this company, insurance could keep their promises. So we're not just going to insure the world and not make sure we're assessing the risk. Faith Putnam had a question, does it have to be 500,000? No, it can be as low as 25. It can be as high as 25 million. It really depends on what you need first, what's your strategy, and then what you can qualify for, because they do a financial qualification. What is the contestability period? 2 years, yes. Can I dive into this question? It might be technical, but I'm here to serve. This is a technical question. A lot of times people are fearful and they hear horror stories about life insurance companies not paying out. Have you guys ever heard that? Like, oh, they're making it so hard for us to pay out, blah, 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 da, da, da. Hey, please take a step back and ask why. Life insurance companies have something called incontestability period, which is the first 2 years. Meaning if something happens to you and you had to make a claim, living or death, right, or living mostly, make a claim in the first 2 years, they have the right to research if you lied or did have any misrepresentation on your application. Is that fair? Again, they're handling billions of dollars and have to keep their promises for hundreds of years. You also want the company to be around and be in business for them to pay out, yes? I'll tell you this, in my career in 2 decades, I mean, not 2 decades, yet, over a decade, we caught two people, quote unquote, lying on their application because they got cancer treatment in Mexico, but didn't do it in America and thought we didn't know. And all of a sudden, they're trying to put in a claim a few months later for stage four. You have to think both sides. So the insurance company will keep their promises. If everything's clean, we do the right underwriting, you have no problem. So incontestability period would be no problem. Okay. All right. Next question we usually get is how many policies can we have? Unlimited, as long as you qualify financially and healthy. Carl have a current $500,000 plan. I was fat, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. What is 8 years later? I'm saying, sorry. I see. Love it. We're being real here. And now later I'm fat, like FAT. What are the challenges I will face in moving to move my plan to insure with insuring impact? So we have something called an underwriting guideline. Well, basic height and weight. It'll show you what you get approved for or where you stand. Or we'll give you a goal. I had some people like 400, they're 7 feet, 400 pounds, right? It was nuts. They're like, well, what do I have to do to get to that goal? What I love about being a life agent, when you're exposing people in their health, people quit smoking when they realize it's more expensive. They get more healthier because there's an incentive for you to be healthier. But there's more to love, right? Either fat. But yes, we can work on that. So reach out to someone who invited you here. They can go through the underwriting guideline. It's a quick reference guide, and we can show you at least a chart and see what you qualify for. Okay. All right. Can Mike have living benefits? Yes. This is so important. The youngest claim we had was a 6-year-old girl. She had vertigo, fell, hit her head. They did a brain scan and found a brain tumor. We didn't design it for living benefit. We designed it for college savings. But again, remember you have that 4-in-1. I don't know which one you need. I pray you live a long and healthy life and leverage as much living benefits for your life as possible. But if life ever happens, we want options, right? Type options when you want options. I just want options. As a survivor, I know when you have options, you have hope. And when you have hope, you can cope. The last thing you want to care about and fight for and worry about when you're sick is money, right? So living benefits, you can have it for children. That's the difference between living benefits and a long-term care. Children cannot have long-term care, not yet, but they can absolutely have a living benefit strategy. How come I never heard about this? Well, that's why you're here. The industry does a crappy job. Living benefits has been around for a while, but it didn't catch fire until like 2007. One company, which was National Life Group, now they revolutionized the industry. They're like the Apple. You know what it is, right? So from pager to phones, from wire to wireless, from death benefit to living benefit. So you are the 2% that are aware now. But it's not enough. Again, how do we be faster than a heart attack, stroke, or cancer so that more people cannot ask these questions? How come I never heard about this? Thank God I heard about this, right? So next question. Faith, one question. I had issues getting my autistic daughter life insurance. Will that be a problem? It is, but it's not a complete stop. We have to, there's certain carriers that would do cover for autistic children. Just depends on how far they are in the spectrum and how old they are. So there are terms and conditions for that. Also, this is heavy on my heart. Autism is on the rise, right? Please, before you label a child, get them a policy. Label them anything, mentally ill, autistic, like ADHD, all of that affects underwriting. So parents, you can get a policy, or grandparents, you can get a policy for a child when they're 14 days old before they label your child, right? When they get a social security number, done. Just start something, lock them in. Play the Rockefeller method. You want to play that game? That would be another conversation. All right. But yes, please, there are options. Reach out to our team. There's different carriers who are willing. We just have to know the diagnosis, how severe, how old, those things, and we'll go shop for you. Like, we will fight nail for every life that matters because every life deserves protecting. Okay. Great questions. Oh, it says, please talk about how prescriptions can follow you because it gets denied. Yes. Okay. Man, this is a PSA, right? Public service announcement. Did you know when the doctor prescribes you medication, it goes straight, it's in your record, even if you never filled it? I repeat, even if you never filled it, it is on your record. So many of our clients are like getting, just being questions or even denied because we check prescription, driving record, background check, all of that is all risk factors, right? So maybe it's not health, multiple DUIs, too risky. A lot of speeding tickets. All that is considered. So yes, be mindful when you get a prescription. Don't just get it just because that will you in your record. Okay. All right. Great questions. Conversation. Is this meaningful? I hope this is very helpful. I know some of you guys on the East Coast is 10 o'clock past your time. It's worth it. All right. Have you paid out on living benefit claims? Yes, our agency has. And you're going to hear our special guest today. I mean, there's billions of paid out, not just through National Life Group, through multiple carriers. You can do the research yourself, but you don't have to hear it from me. The stats are there. Feel free to Google it. But I really want to introduce you to a true story. I want you to meet Gina and Nicole. Gina is an Ensuring Impact agent. She has a heart to serve. My goodness, she is poster child of living benefits. I won't say anymore because I would probably cry. But Gina, are you there? Can we spotlight G?
Hello.
Hi, Gina. She's been in living benefits for how long now? Over
6 years, almost
six. Yeah. And we've been, remember when we started, we're young and everyone was healthy and elite and PHAT. That was us, right? Now we're older, we're aging, we have children, and
we're
life is,
still PA.
right? And life is starting to happen. I didn't get my first claim until 10 years later. And I think this is yours, right? So I'm gonna just be quiet. I really want to hear your story um, and share the story.
So I became an Ensuring Impact agent back in 2018. It was because my family, my dad, I was a caregiver to my dad who had stage 4 lung cancer, and the living benefits really got to me because I was like, man, I wish I had this. They were really smart. They bought the life insurances, they bought the long-term care, and when I heard about living benefits, I was like, let me take a look at my policy because my mom keeps talking about this policy. Anyways, I joined the Impact and I started posting about it. And one of the I love about what we do is we're not pushy in how we educate. It's about education. It's not about selling. I actually hate selling. My mom actually told me not to be a life insurance agent. She's like, people are just gonna like avoid you and cross the street and pretend like they didn't see you. But really, being Ensuring Impact, it has really changed my life because there's a different way of impacting. I might have been a nurse maybe in a different life, but in this life, I get to be what we call a second responder. Meaning, so Nicole, someone I've known since sixth grade, since the 1900s, 1980-ish. But yes, we're still pretty tempting. And she had posted, she had a post of mine and said, she messaged me, she slid into DMs and she said, hey, I see this benefits thing. I have the State Farm policy that I got since I was like 19 or 20 old. And I has that, but can you check for me? And so, of course, as an agent, a proper agent, we always see what they have, right? Not everything is bad, right? We like to see what they have and see how we can do better or maybe add to it. So State Farm, everybody who doesn't know State Farm. So I looked through her policy. I was like, look, you have a permanent life insurance policy. Great job. You started it when you were 20 years old. I said it doesn't have living benefits. You can use it or we can just add to it. And so at the time, she's a business owner, she's a massage therapist. I said, with this being a single mom, business owner, all this stuff, I was like, I would rather have you have a lot of coverage versus a little coverage. And a lot of coverage was a term policy in her situation. We did a financial impact analysis. I could see how much she can afford, right? And I said, let's just get a lot more coverage and then you can lock in your health rate, just like Disney said. Let's lock in your health rate. You can always convert it in X amount of years, depending on what the term duration is. She said, okay, fine. I'll get a term. I didn't want a term, but I'll get a term. I trust you. She's had the policy for 3 years. And I go on Instagram one day, I'm scrolling through this, I'm at midnight scrolling through, and I'm like, what is a C spot, Nicole? The next morning she said, can I call you? And don't you hate messages? Can I call you? Especially when you ask a question, they didn't answer it. And I was like, dang it. But I could cry because I was just like, yes. So right when she called me, actually, I don't know if I should, can you bring,
I'm here. Hello. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. I'm out and about.
okay. She had that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was just like, no way. So this is where I want to transfer it to Nicole so that she can share, about what we're, but yeah.
And so yes, I was recently diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer. And I am currently through a very aggressive chemo treatment. So as I was explaining to Gina what was going on, she had mentioned, well, it really sucks that we're going through this, but there's a positive. And I had really did not pay attention to the details. I put all of my trust into Gina only because I've known her since 6th grade, and I know she's been doing this for a while. And I completely put everything into her hands. She built me the policy, and I was just paying the 47. I think it was like $47 a month. I was like, okay, perfect. I had it didn't register when she said, well, Nicole, you can use your benefits because you're not going to be working. And how are you going to get the income? Because if I don't get paid, because I don't have the luxury right now of people working for me. And I was like, it clicked. I was like, what's going on? But I didn't first, but then I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, all right, just check this out. When I might get sorry, my dogs are in the background
Hi,
distracting a
doggy.
little bit, but we're out and about right now. I am now in my round, and was it last month that we cashed out on the policy? I think
Yeah.
about a month ago. So it was, and I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing the details because I want everybody to know, like, this is not a disease. I'm still gonna live. I'm gonna get well.
Woo-hoo.
And I'm confident in the doctors that this is gonna be care of. It was a $600,000 policy I had, $47 a month. She structured it perfectly, a term policy. And I know that I had manifested this, I don't know, for a while, but not realizing it because I was kind of about what's going to lose my business. When I got letter, I think that's what it's called. I got $330,000.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna I just want to thank I really want to for bringing me into just educating me on possibilities of having life insurance. It's something that we're not taught in school, and it really is important. And I try to teach my kids too, this is, you're young enough, investing is very important, but there is a way to do it. And I trust Gina with my life, no pun intended. But that
Give me your
was
second. Tell me you give me your
my
better.
next born goes to Gina Wong. um I'm really too exposed to this, and yes, this is gonna be rough, but again, this is not a terminal illness. I could use this for anything. I can use it if I need it investing in other things. I could use this for buying a house. I could use it for other investments. I could use it to survive.
Mhm.
The possibilities are endless with this. um yes, I'm sick, but yeah, I'm covered financially, and I am so thankful. I can't even, there are no words there to express my this company. And I want to make a note: the service is superb. I do not detail, I do not research. It's just something that I repel. I don't know why, but Gina Wong answered all my questions, even if I asked them 50 million times the same question over and over again, and I did that a lot. She would still continue to answer my questions. She would check up on me. She would say, "Hey, what if he has connections, other connections in her network?" I didn't have to do any paperwork. She's like, "All the paperwork, you just sign. That's it. I didn't have to do anything." She made it so easy, and I owe a lot to Gina because I appreciate you.
Oh,
So
you are.
that is my personal. I hope this can an impact on anyone who is in on this Zoom, but this is a life thing that I was exposed to, and I'm very, very, very grateful. And I have some questions popping up, and I don't really see. I don't know if someone can help me out.
Questions. We're raving and cheering and
Oh,
inspired by you, Nicole.
thank you. I'm on, so I can't really see everything that's going on here. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Can I add two things? Number one, actually three things. Number one, like right before her first treatment, I was like, "Hey, can we meet up for coffee?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's go to Phil." I heard these socks. I was like, "F you, cancer, you messed with the wrong beep." So that was number two. Is when I called her for about the good news. 'Cause I got the email too, but I was like, let me catch her on the phone. I said, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm getting measured at Stanford Hospital for the cold cap thing, so that I don't lose my the treatment." And I was, "Oh, I didn't know that Stanford covered that." She goes, "They don't.
It doesn't.
They don't. I have to pay on it on my own." I said, "Well, you know who's going to pay for it?" Who? I said, "Your living benefits policy."
Hey, that's awesome. How much is a cold cap? Like, if you don't mind me asking, because I don't think that's just one part. How much was that?
Oh, the cold cap?
Mm-hmm.
That was almost $3,000. It was almost $3,000. And it's actually 50%, sorry, 59%. You can go. 59% to save 50% of my hair. And I was like, I don't want to have any regrets. I want to try everything. So I'm third coming up this Friday, actually. And I'm gonna send a picture of my hair, because I have a little here, but you can't really notice it. They told me that I had phenomenal hair retention for going into the third round of chemo by using it. I was like, hey, I'm doing something right, because I was freaking out. The hair was coming out. I'm like, oh, here we go. But it's have paid for it if I didn't have the funds. Well, no, I wouldn't have been able to. Maybe a GoFundMe, but I don't want to GoFundMe route. So very thankful for that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Gina, because that's actually really important, because that's just an extra added benefit that I was able to pay for.
Yeah, you're like, "I want to do the tumbles. I want to do all the things. I want to do
everything." Give it to me. I'm also seeing a natural path. Yeah, I'm seeing a natural path, supplements. All of that is just it's very expensive. It's not covered by insurance. And that too, that's that I afford to do for myself now.
Yeah. And then the thing, shoot. Oh, anyone who, so you know how there's that breast, this is something that I actually called National Life Group. I said, what happens if someone does the BRCA gene, right? Because people who have the gene, they'll have everyone in their family get tested. Note, before you get tested, or anyone to get tested, get a life insurance policy first before you're test positive, because positive, but not having the cancer, it means that you still pay a higher premium. So make sure you get that policy beforehand. And then if you don't want it anymore, just cancel it. But again, there's always like Denise was going back, circle around it. The three tiers, we started foundation first, protection. And then when I learned with infinite banking, hey Nicole, other product that we can do for banking, money in, money out, money in policy, like a year and a half ago.
Yep.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yep.
She had policies. So again, she had options. Anyways, that's all.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Testimonial
you.
that we're doing something amazing. And again, life insurance, that ugly word, but now you understand life insurance you don't have to die to use. It's a strategy. When done, it's life-changing. And thank you for sharing that true story. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So that concludes our living benefits beyond insurance movement. Next month, we're going to go deep and dive deep on going on beyond real estate. How are real estate agents or people using these in real estate strategies? That's going to be on December 16th. I'm saying 2025 because we only have this much left. December 16th. It's a Tuesday, same time. Catch us there. We're going to dive deep. Now you understand protection focus. After we get fundamentals down, let's get fancy. How do we play the game? How do we move money around? Let's be our own banks. I don't want to pay taxes. I want to have control when through chaos. That's what it's all about. Having control of your money, you, your family, your estate, not the government, the bank, not Wall Street. The more control you have, the more empowered you would be. And a lot of those strategies are inside of life insurance and tax strategies. So we're going to dive deep and going on beyond insurance. Find us there. If you know any real estate agents, mortgage, or you want to learn the game and dive deeper into that pillar, we're going to go there. All right. So if you want to unlock your strategy, please scan this QR code, give us feedback, what you like, what you didn't like. I'm here to be refined. We just want to spread the good news that Living Benefits is here. I love that Gina dropped that gem. We are second responders. The first responders come and save your life. The second responder is us. Our Living Benefits advocate comes deliver the check. Which, when you hear the bad news, hopefully a check. I mean, Cole, when she is self-massage therapist, imagine, how do I work while I'm battling cancer? How do I get $3,000 so I don't lose my hair? There's no how. There's a strategy. Just people are aware. I'm just so glad. Thank you for your trust, Nicole. Thank you for your trust, everybody else, and thank you for your time. If someone can post that link there, your feedback is welcome. Go to the person who invited you here today and just be like, hey, can you just review my policy, review my strategy? Tell me more about that. Like, that's what we're here for. We're here to see you. We're here to care for you. We're here to be a second opinion. Whatever it is, we're here. We're in it to win. We want to be here for you for life, not just for death. Living Benefits. All right. So everybody have a great night. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Love on your families. I'm grateful for you. Nicole says, best decision I ever made. Hug your family. Make sure they have living benefits. Take care. I love y'all.